on Saturday, I had a great opportunity, and I'd like to thank the U.S. Embassy in Canberra for inviting me along to visit the USS America. Admiral Tom Schultz, American Charge d'Affaires Erica Olson, and everyone aboard the ship were incredibly generous in showing us life aboard this amphibious assault craft, normally based in Japan, that is paying a visit to Sydney in Australia, and is understood that it's going to be taking place with America and a bunch of other ships as part of the Operation Talisman Sabre coming up. Now, right now, around 4,500 sailors and Marines are in town in Sydney, and I tell you what, if you meet any of them, have a beer with them. They are incredible, mostly young people doing a hell of a job. And they will be, I have to say, potentially on the front line, very likely, of any future conflict that breaks out in the Pacific. Now, that's why I bring this up, because this visit here that I was part of, it is part of the close Australian-American alliance. It represents this, one which our own Prime Minister, however, Anthony Albanese, has been, well, rubbishing just a little bit lately for his own domestic political purposes. Recall what the Prime Minister said just the other day at the National Press Club in a sidelong shot at American values and the American president.
And Australians voted against importing conflicts and ideologies that have no basis in our national culture or character. They rejected policies copied from overseas that would only leave us a smaller, narrower, less generous and more divided country. Instead, our people chose to face global challenges in the Australian way.
And we know exactly what he meant and who he meant by that. I don't think Albanese was too concerned with Chinese Communist Party influence operations in Australia. No, he was talking about the US of A. Now, of course, after all that, I hope Donald Trump doesn't watch the press club, because the Prime Minister has jetted off to meet, we presume, and I think it's now been confirmed on Tuesday, and this is going to happen, meet with U.S. President Donald Trump at the G7, where Australia's defense spending budget will surely come up. And it struck me as I was toured around the aircraft on this ship that I was on, including the F-35Bs, which one aviator told me were like magic to fly, that they were so advanced, that defense is now really, for Australia, the main game, the only game in town, given what's going on in the world. Yet it also strikes me that the nature of warfare is changing, and we in Australia have to be ready. In the past 2 weeks, we have seen, of course, first Ukrainians launch an attack with drones that took out something like a third of Russia's nuclear-capable long-range bombers. And then Israel, just in the past few days, decapitated Iran's nuclear program as well as their Revolutionary Guard, again, with drones being a big part of the picture. And great for them, but let's remember, the good guys don't always win, and the bad guys have access to the same technology, because in just the past 2 weeks, not just the past 2 weeks, but the past 2 years have shown us what the wars of the future will look like for Australia as well. This next generation of warfare, driven by drones and other autonomous technology, not necessarily launched from an airbase or a carrier group, means that even seemingly ragtag enemies can make a lot of trouble for relatively little cost.